Welcome back to another edition of Bourbon
What's up,
Kingdom.
Meek?
I'm David,
And I'm Zach.
and today we are going to kind of run through what we think are the 7 best distilleries to kind of hunt bourbon for.
Yeah, so this is actually a question we get asked quite a bit. Where's great places to go and hunt bourbon in the state of Kentucky?
And we are very fortunate because we are around a lot of great bourbon.
Yeah, we are.
And a lot of great distilleries.
And we have a lot of great opportunities to
Yeah.
go and collect this bourbon. And kind of a trick to the trade is, a lot of people want to go know what bars to go to, what stores to go to, what big box stores to go to. And I'm like, you might want to go and hit an actual distillery.
Yeah.
Because you're not always going to score there, but you can score there more than what you think.
Yes.
And this is kind of the point to the list today. So,
yeah.
Anyways, we're going to start out. And we've talked about this place quite a bit. And I don't think a lot of people talk about it enough. But Boone County Distillery. So, this place is located just south of Cincinnati in Independence, Kentucky. It's literally in a little industrial park. It's not very big at all. It literally you could drive right by. And if you don't look up to see the Boone County on the side,
you'd miss it.
Yeah. But every time I go up to Cincinnati, because, my wife wants to go to IKEA and all that kind of stuff.
The good old IKEA.
Yeah.
If you're ever shopping for good furniture, that's not a place to go.
Yeah, pretty much. Anyways, I always like to stop up there because I can always get a nice single barrel. I can always get something that's cask strength.
Yeah.
And one of my favorite parts about that place is before I buy anything, I get to try it. So
Which is always a bonus.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. And
always
you can buy multiples of them instead of just one.
Yeah.
So, and, not a lot of people know about this, so they keep these bottles for a really long time. They're reasonably priced. It's a great place to go. And it's a nice little weeder.
Yeah. Always good to have a good weeder. All right. Another great place is in Bardstown, Kentucky. It's called Bardstown Bourbon Company. We've done reviews of these. They are just a phenomenal...
They crush it.
Yeah, they crush it in a lot of ways. It's located, like I said, it's located in Bardstown. You can get their Discovery series, like this is Discovery 6. You can still get Discovery 5, like if you go up there, it's usually there.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Or their Fusion series, which was kind of their original bourbon that they jumped into the market with.
Mm-hmm.
And even some single barrels you can kind of grab a hold of. And the bonus to this one is they have a phenomenal restaurant.
The distillery itself is beautiful.
It's beautiful.
But I would even say more of a bonus is, and you brought this up just a second ago, where basically Discovery 6 and Discovery 5 you can't find on shelves right now.
Right.
And Discovery 5 is not my jam. He likes it a lot more than me.
Yeah, I liked it. For sure.
You can still go there as a week ago, and you could still get it.
Yeah.
So, you can still, it's not, they're not going to keep just stocks of 1, 2, 3, 4, but they keep a lot of their stuff a lot longer.
And they there's not a huge secondary market for Bardstown Bourbon Company.
No, I mean,
and because there's not, you can go to the distillery and they're going to have it on their shelves, which is really, really cool.
And their single barrels are really, really good.
Yes.
I had one that I'll be honest with you, I had one I didn't like, but the other ones I've had, they've all been really, really great.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is actually a channel favorite of ours.
It's always a channel favorite.
So we're going to go with Old Forester. Now, why am I showing both these bottles? Because honestly, these, I'm looking out of all the group, these are my
you brought 18 out.
I brought 18 out. I brought out a big boy. So,
am I going to have to get a glass and try that?
Of course you will. So, basically with Old Forester, this is how they work.
Pay no attention to the man to the left.
Yeah, because all he's doing is drinking good bourbon as normal. Old Forester will put out stuff. They most of the time they'll put out birthday bourbon once a month, President's Choice once a month, a single barrel once a month if that's a barrel strength rye, 100 proof bourbon, or barrel strength bourbon. 150th and their 117 series. Now, it's been a lot less here recently, to be honest with you. I know it's so good, isn't it? It's been a lot less, which kind of sucks for me because I live very close. So.
And Old Forester has begun to be very sneaky.
Yes, they have. So some of the other things that they've done, they've kind of taken away from just doing like a normal standard release. And what they'll do is they will offer these expressions to people who are on tours.
Yeah.
So if you book a tour that day, you'll have an opportunity to buy a birthday bourbon, a
Yeah.
President's Choice, or something like that. Which sucks for us being local because we're just not booking a tour every day. But it works out really well for everybody who's out of town.
Yeah.
And because you all get an opportunity to get to drink great stuff. With all that being said, they don't put stuff out every single day, but it's normally monthly. So if you're in town and you're paying attention to local groups or you're paying attention to the distillery, you have a really good shot.
You have a good chance to get it.
At getting a really phenomenal bottle that, let's be real, unless you're in a lottery somewhere, you're realistically not going to win.
And like the birthday bourbon, you could have waited in line the day that it comes out.
Yeah, that's
but
honestly another
for us
point.
who are local,
yeah,
we can kind of bypass that and just hope that some point during the year we're going to either be on a tour or they're going to do a small release at a random Tuesday afternoon or something like that, and we'll be able to get it.
Well, and Old Forester is probably one of the better distilleries. This one and the one we're getting ready to talk about next, they really do a good job when it's really important events, such as Derby, Repeal Day, which is getting ready to come up on December 4th, which is, I guess, this upcoming Saturday? Yeah, Saturday. Might want to hang out at Old Forester at some point in time on Saturday because you might get lucky.
Yeah, and it's been a while since they've thrown out a President's Choice too.
I know. Been a sad day.
It is sad. I mean, because they rolled like 3 of them out in about a matter of a month and a half.
Dude, they rolled out like 6 in a matter of 6 straight months. It was awesome.
The next one is Four Roses. This is one that's near and dear to my heart. I love Four Roses. Almost all of their bourbon is good. I've not really had anything bad. Some are better than others, obviously, the barrel strengths. Whichever expression you get, some higher tier, lower tier, blah, blah, blah. Like, it's all fine and good. Chances if you get a barrel strength, you're going to enjoy it. You're really going to enjoy it. And the cool thing for us is they've got their distillery in Lawrenceburg, and then they've got their place in Cox's Creek. Yeah, the bottling company, the bottling plant in Cox's Creek. And so usually when they put something out, they go Thursday Lawrenceburg, Friday Cox's Creek. Yeah. And so if you happen to find a barrel strength that you like, chances are that if you wanted to and you were willing to travel, you could get both of them. You could get 2 of them in 1 week if you wanted to do that. So. Yeah,
and even then, you see, they used to do a lot where they'd split that barrel, but now it's like anymore. I feel like it's 2 separate barrels.
Yeah,
and they'll put it out there. And like this one, this is the last one I got from them, which was a couple of weeks ago. It's an OESO. I think it's a tier 4.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Tier 4. I have a tier 5 upstairs. I forget which one that is. But like literally, they put out really great barrel strengths. You're not going to get
pretty regularly.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah. It's not every single week.
No,
because they will take some weeks off. And I think a lot of that has to do with them in the glass situation. Yeah. They do they do a great job putting out barrel strengths all the time. Yeah. Good stuff too. Yeah. Okay, so the next one we have up is Mickers. So Mickers is located in Louisville, Kentucky. They just reopened up not too long ago. They were kind of one of the last distilleries to reopen. They reopened around the time that actually this bottle came out, the toasted bourbon.
It's basically the day that this came out.
Yeah, around the time. So, and literally all of their top kind of releases from the barrel strength rye and bourbon, the toasted rye and bourbon, the 2 10 years bourbon and rye, and then the legacy package, which is their shanks and their bomb burgers. Yeah. You can get all of those there.
Yeah.
And I mean, you can't get like, a Mickers 20 or anything like that. Don't ever worry about camping out for anything like that because you're never going to get anything like that. They literally put all this stuff out, probably honestly multiple times a month.
Yeah.
And they put out stuff weekly, if not daily, it seems like anymore.
And we love Mickers. Like, we love Mickers. Almost everything that we drink, like if we drink Mickers, we generally don't really have a bad thing to say about it. But there is one thing that we don't like about Mickers is like this. They packaged this with another thing, which is frustrating because I get it. You got to sell your other stuff too.
That's true.
But
the downside is a lot of times you do have to buy in bundles. And like for this one, I had to buy just a regular bourbon.
Yeah.
And the problem is, like, I can go to a Kroger around here and get it for like $30-something bucks.
Yeah.
And there,
It's
Distillery,
$55.
$50.
Yeah, $55.
It's not cheap.
So it's like defeats the purpose of wanting to go get these things at times. So even though that's a frustration, the bourbon, it just outweighs the con of having to buy the extra thing. So I mean, it's well worth it. It's just kind of it's just one of those little frustrating things. And you know, even Old Forester does that at times, where they'll package every once in a while. And again, it's just frustrating. Like, you know, you want to go and get the one thing, you have to end up buying a second thing.
But at the end of the day, you can still get a lot.
Yes.
And they have it, like I said, if it's not every day, it's at least multiple times during the week. And that's actually quite a bit. If you really think about it, if you're from out of town, where, I mean, we see comments all the time. It's like, I've never seen a Mickers 10-year. And I'm like, how have you never? Like in my mind, I'm like, that would sit on the.
And their tasting room is open now and all that stuff.
True.
And so it's just a good hangout spot. They got a really good spot. So, my last one is Buffalo Trace. It's located in Frankfort. And especially if you're traveling in, everybody seems to want to find the elusive horse.
Bananas.
And again, you can't get it all the time at the distillery, but you can get it a lot at the distillery. They have.
You can get it once or twice a week for sure, or an opportunity to get it once or twice a week.
And so, like if you bought this, you'd have to wait 3 months until you bought it again from the distillery. That's with any of their any of the releases, the E.H. Taylor, the Weller, the Eagle Rare, any of those things. You have to kind of
and Sazerac right now.
Yeah. Oh, okay. And Sazerac, but the cool thing is, like, if you get this one time, then you have all these other options if you go back and do anything. And again, like it's Weller, it's good stuff, and you know you won't be disappointed by going down there and getting.
I don't think you said E.H. Taylor small batch, did you?
I think I said E.H.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I just want to make sure that was added because that's my personal favorite.
Oh yeah, I mean all of those.
So
my favorite
you're
too.
not going to go like here's the thing about Buffalo Trace. The reason why we put it number 2, you're not going to get this crazy, amazing hitter bottle, but you're basically guaranteed something until like 1 p.m. Like they open up at 10 and they don't start running out of stuff between 1 and 3. So, and obviously like Friday, Saturday, Sunday, they run out of stuff a lot sooner.
You're not going to find a E.H. Taylor 4 grain or
no, you're not.
That stuff.
If you're in a group and they're like, yeah, I got one time I got like a Weller 12 from down there. No, you didn't. But you can well, you didn't. You know, you didn't. It's just fact. Yeah. So, but you can get one of these. Yeah. And if you're coming in from out of town, I mean, the reason why they do the 3-month rule is so that way not the same people that are locally can just constantly eat down there all the time. Yeah. And then probably honestly flipping it, selling it.
Yeah, probably so.
So.
But people do that?
I've been told. All right. So our number 1 that we think best distillery to hunt at is Heaven Hill Distillery, and actually the Heaven Hill Bourbon experience in Bardstown, Kentucky.
Yeah.
So down there, you can actually go and you can get like an Old Fitz, a Parker's, a William Headley Hill, the Elijah Craig Barrel Proof, the Larceny Barrel Proof, the Toasted Elijah Craig, McKenna 10.
Yeah.
And then whenever they have those Heaven Hill Select special releases, that white bottle up there, this one. You can actually get those down there. Now, a couple things. They pretty much put out something allocated every day, which is great. But it's not always a guarantee what it's going to be. Like, as we're doing this video, Heaven Hill just started announcing on their Facebook page here not too long ago, actually what they're going to be putting out. So
today they will announce for tomorrow what they're putting out.
Which they actually announced they're going to put out Node Fit 16
tomorrow.
16-year. Well, it would actually be, I guess, this would be like 2 days ago or whatever at this point. So, but the cool thing is you're actually going to hear what they're gonna do, and then a little like tip of the trade. A lot of people get down there between like 6 and 7 from what we see in the groups and stuff anymore. So like 6, 7 in the morning. So you have to get down there pretty early. Yeah. And whenever this new Parker's drop, people are going to camp out for that overnight because they haven't started dropping the new Parkers, that heavy char weeded yet. Yeah. And when they do, it's going to be a madhouse.
Yeah, it'll be a madhouse. For sure.
But the cool thing is you can get some of these bottles that you're realistically never going to see anywhere. You're never going to see the Parkers. You're probably realistically never going to see a whole lot of old Fitzes out in the wild, and you're definitely not going to see those William Heavenly Hill bottles.
No.
But they always have a good amount of them throughout the year.
Yeah.
And they're going to put out between 30 and 40 of them at a time at the distillery, it seems like a lot of times.
Yep, that's generally true. Yep.
But yeah, I think that's everything. Go ahead and leave us a comment below. Let us know if we missed a distillery that you all like to go hunt at, or if you all think there's a better one, or if we should have moved one up, or if Heaven Hill you don't think is the best.
I mean, we could have expanded our radius and probably brought some more distilleries into the mix, but for us, we're looking at generally this Kentucky area and going. Sure. This is like if you're coming into Kentucky for a bourbon retreat, that's what I would call it, like a bourbon retreat. You're gonna fly into Louisville or Lexington, and then you're gonna
hit the ground.
You're gonna go out, and so
yep.
we could have thrown Maker's Mark in there. Mostly because they just do a really good job of their tours and stuff like that.
Yeah, their tours are top notch.
Their tours are really, really cool.
But you're not getting a lot of good bottles.
You're not getting a lot of great bottles, but the tour is pretty cool. And so, some of the experience of going to these distilleries is watching how they bottle, how they age, how they, do all that stuff. And Makers just does a really good job with that. So anyway, other than that, tell us what we did right, what we did wrong, and then we'll take it into consideration for our next one.
Fair enough. All right, guys, we'll catch you later.
Yeah, see ya.